What's up, Facebook in the house? You know how we do. You know how we get down. You know how we roll. I hope all is well with you and your endeavors, man. Can't complain on my end. Just taking things one day at a time. Um, I don't really have a particular time as to how long I'm going to do this video. And then I don't know if Facebook might cut it off. You know how they do. Facebook might cut the live video off. You know how they do. Especially when shit get important, shit get meaty, you know what I'm saying? When shit get meaty, for whatever reason, they tend to do different shit, you know? But keep it a buck, man. We're talking about the ability to create different species. Now, they use the word hybrid. And that's just what they use. But I think it could be it's unique. And this is something that I just wanted to something to talk about, man. I had a conversation with one of my friends, yesterday, and kind of blew my mind, what she was saying, kind of blew my mind as to, damn, like, I didn't even know how I was gonna even do the video because I was just so engulfed in the spiritual energy that she was creating through when she was we was talking about this shit. When we were talking about this shit, we were talking about like, and I'm gonna elaborate even further as this video goes on. But like this video right here, I'm gonna let this video play, and then I'm gonna go from there. So I'm gonna show you this is about breeding different types of animals, and you can create new animals. Now, the word hybrid, I'm going to tell you something. The word hybrid to me is a curse word. I think the word hybrid is a curse word. It's like telling you that, oh, it's not supposed to be created. Even though, if the animal had it its way, the animal would probably be with its species. But as the upkeeper of this planet, you have an ability to create. Of course, the government stops us, of course, and makes it illegal. Like you can breed dogs, you can breed cats, you can breed fish. So as long as it's not something that they got to fucking deal with. If it's something that just a common dog, like you took a Rottweiler and mixed a Rottweiler with a German Shepherd, they don't mind shit like that. That's child's play. They can get a robot to kill that. They can get they ain't gotta just they ain't gotta get the military on it, motherfucker, and just get like some common animal control, you know what I'm saying, come out and handle business. But let's just watch this real quick, and then we're gonna kind of go from here. And I'm gonna try to see if I can tag some more people as I do this video.
See lions, tigers, and bears.
And you see the title is 15 scary hybrid species or hybrid animals that actually exist. Now, this is what they say actually exists. But you know the motherfuckers gotta have some type of license or something like that, because the government is not gonna let you carry something if you can't. You know what I'm saying? If you cannot um, show if you can't show like your license to be able to hold the animals in the zoo, be the zookeeper, shit like that, you gotta show proof, bro. Can't just do what you want to do. Can't just make what you want to make. Cannot make what you want to make. You gotta make what they allow you to make. See, they'll give you a little freedom, but don't take it too fucking far. But let's watch this video. Let's watch this video real quick.
But most people haven't seen an animal that contains DNA of all three. It's actually possible for certain animal species to be interbred and procreate strange-looking hybrid animals. Today, we'll be taking a look at 15 of the most scary hybrid animals. Number 15, liger. While we were all laughing as Napoleon Dynamite was drawing pictures of the mythical liger in his notebook, scientists were laughing at us because the liger is very real. It's one of the most well-known hybrids to exist. Don't expect to see one on the hunt in the savannah. This artificially created beast only exists in the zoos and sanctuaries that have birthed them. And as the name would suggest, they're the product of a male lion mating with a female tiger.
You hear that? They coming up with ideas, bro. They coming up with ideas. You know what I'm saying? They coming up with some strange shit, bro. They coming up with strange shit, bro. They, I kid you not, this video right here is like I say again, the mere thought of creating, you know what I'm saying, can do some damage. I mean, ancient damage, spiritual damage. They call them hybrids. I'm calling them possibility. Now now if they would have made it a male lion and a female tiger, now according to what I know, they would have made a smaller liger, which they named it liger. But when they made a female lion with a male tiger, they made shit like this, bro. They made a damn liger about 10 feet tall, head the size of a fucking tire, a car tire.
The kicker here is that these animals grow to be much larger than either of their parents. And while this may sound cool to us, it's actually quite unfortunate for the ligers. They suffer from a bout of gigantism, which causes them to weigh around 1,200 pounds, which is way too much for their body to even attempt to support. So the odds of seeing one running around even in an enclosure are slim to none. So while on paper the idea of a liger is awesome, they live somewhat of a sad existence, because they're so overweight it's too much for their body, organs, and heart to take. Most of them die at a young age. But the ligers are fertile, and although uncommon, they can mate with other ligers, tigers, and lions. But that offspring seems even scarier than the liger itself. Number 14, jaglion. Lions are scary enough in their own right, and so the thought of combining them with a jaguar is downright terrifying. Both of these animals are at the top of the food chain and stalk their prey before going in for the kill. And when you combine these two apex predators, you get the jaglion. A product of an incredibly selective breeding system, the jaglion is incredibly rare and will always be birthed at an animal sanctuary. But one of the most famous jaglions lived in the Bear Creek Sanctuary in Ontario, Canada, and will likely live out their days there, toting the line between lion and jaguar. But their birth was actually a happy accident. A black jaguar had mated with a lioness, and thus these twins were born, and their caretakers have said that these two are inseparable. It's highly unlikely that they would be accepted by either species in the wild, and because they can't breed with other species of their own, they are essentially one-of-a-kind creatures. But one thing you can't...
Sound like something, huh? Sounds a little strange, huh?
Gorgeous, taking on the best physical traits of each animal. But if there's one lesson you can learn from nature, it's that the more beautiful the animal, the chances are the deadlier it is. Just make sure you don't turn your back on them, because that's when they strike. Number 13, Roller Bear. When you're camping, the last thing you want to run into is a grizzly bear. If one of these things takes a liking to you, things probably won't pan out so well. So what would happen if one of these giant predators had their genes crossed with their polar cousins? Well, then you've got a growler bear on your hands. The name may be silly, but the growler bear is not to be trifled with. And unlike previous entries, these are more likely to turn up in the wild than in a zoo or sanctuary. Back in 2006, an odd-looking bear was shot in the Canadian Arctic, and after some DNA testing and plenty of head-scratching, it was confirmed that this was in fact a hybrid animal. So how does something like this even happen? Don't grizzlies and polar bears have their own respective territories? This one is a little sadder, and it's likely that these two bears came across each other due to climate change. As we all know, polar bears have been running out of space in the Arctic.
And that shows you right there that I know we get beside ourselves sometimes, and we say that that animals will mate with their own species. Like we would say that, you know, the blue jay will mate with the blue jay, and I've said this shit. I've said this shit plenty of times, and I'm still growing. The falcon to mate with the falcon, the dolphin to mate with the dolphin, and I'm gonna come. I'm gonna type some shit in. I'm gonna type some possibilities in when this video get done, because I want you to kind of just ponder some shit.
Regions, so they've been moving south into grizzly country, and you can figure out the rest from there. But since that initial sighting, more and more hunters are reporting growler bear sightings, and it's likely that there will be even more in the future. Number 12, Zonkey. A zonkey is not a zombie donkey, but the fact that this hybrid animal exists is creepy enough. When you mix a zebra with a donkey, you get the strange cocktail that is the zonkey. And because both animals are equine, breeding two successfully is pretty easy to do. But the chances of a zebra and a donkey falling in love with each other in the wild are pretty low. So you can bet that any zonkey in existence is a product of both science and selective breeding.
Right.
And luckily, much like its parents, the zonkey is anything but deadly, unless killing somebody with cuteness is a thing. The zonkey is able to retain traits from both parents that give it its coat, and so they'll typically have zebra lines on their legs, but they'll still give you that iconic hee-haw if you get a little too close. Perhaps they've retained the best of both worlds then. But the only catch with the zonkey is that these guys are a one-time deal, meaning they can't produce any young, making each iteration one of a kind. And if you ever get down to Tijuana and see a fully striped zonkey, chances are it's just a donkey with those black and white stripes painted on. But if you want to catch a glimpse of this wild hybrid, your best bet is going to be at a special zoo. Number 11, Humpless Camel. If you're lucky enough to see a camel in person or even ride one, the first thing you're going to notice is the hump. But what about humpless camels? Also known as camas, humpless camels are the product of a camel breeding with a llama. And while you may not realize it, llamas and camels aren't that too far from each other in the gene pool. So this hybrid animal isn't as rare or tough to create. This is an interesting animal because while it may look like a small camel, you'll immediately notice the hump is missing. but they do take on the llama's coat, meaning they are extra soft. While not as large as a camel, an adult kama can weigh up to 6 times as much as a llama. But because these can only be made via artificial insemination, you'll never see one out in the wild. Plus, think about where each animal lives in relation to the other. That just can't happen.
I notice is that they're talking about people like you'll never find it out in the wild because they're creating it. And another thing, in their stupidity, they're correcting this shit right now. They have the same that all the shit I'm talking about here that I'm gonna discuss with y'all. They're making all this shit in laboratories. You can create new things. You can create new animals. You can create. You can create all kinds of shit. But like I said again, I'm gonna just kind of let it go through. I'm just kind of narrating a little bit. But once I get through narrating, I'm gonna dig in for real.
The very first kama on record was bred in 1998 with the goal of producing more wool than your straight-up llama because of its size and more cooperative temperament. So originally, llamas were too small and camels were too tough. And in just 10 years, another 5 kamas were produced. Number 10, beefalo. Humans love beef. We love burgers, and steaks maybe a little too much sometimes, and it can feel like there aren't enough cows to satiate our appetites. So naturally, scientists are always thinking of ways to really beef things up, which is why they created the beefalo. The product of a human-led breeding program, you get a beefalo when you mix a male cow and a female bison. And unlike some of the other hybrids we've seen, the history of the beefalo goes back a few hundred years. The first recorded beefalo sighting was in 1749, when they were accidentally bred in the American South. But about 100 years later, settlers began creating beefalo in the hopes that they would provide both more milk than cows and survive the harsh winters. Think of them as super cows. The beefalo was tough to manage, but they were a success nonetheless because the majority of them were able to produce offspring. But cut to a few centuries later, the meat industry is booming and manufacturers are employing scientists to help them produce more and better meat. So now, the beefalo comes in again, offering not just more meat, but leaner and with less fat and cholesterol than your average cattle. It's an odd animal with an odd history, and perhaps... Take a deep...
Oh man, boy, I tell you. Commercials. Boy, I tell you. They want you to buy the premium. I'm giving them shit. I'll take the commercials. Fuck it.
You can get direct tea, even an odder future. Number 9, Henny. If you thought the Zonky was one freaky hybrid animal, then just wait until you hear about this one. The Henny is a product of a match made anywhere but heaven. A female donkey mating with a male horse. And so the Henny is essentially the opposite of a mule and looks much smaller than its well-known cousin. But instead of being a smaller, more demure hybrid animal, this one is strong, really strong. Henny have some tough legs, so despite their size, they can give you just a little more bang for your buck than the average pack animal. It's quite an interesting characteristic, and unlike the mule, the Henny is a little easier on the eyes, with a more and overall better-looking mane. So, the Henny has beauty and brawn, but how about brains? Well, maybe not so much. It may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but they certainly know how to get the job done. The biggest question here is, why do you get a mule when you cross a male donkey with a female horse, but a Henny when you have the inverse pair? It all comes down to the dominant traits of the mother. So, because the Henny's mother is much smaller than the horse that sired it, you get this small in stature hybrid animal. Number 8, the Zoo.
And another thing I want to show you, notice that like when they are mating these different species and whatnot, that the female of the species is giving birth to something different and still being allowed to tell about it. So if the female, like we talk about the liger, so if the If the liger, if say for is created by the female type, the female lion and the female lion and the male tiger. Think about this one. Okay, well, that female lion is used to, giving birth to lions, but has the ability to actually mate with a tiger and actually create a different, actually hold something different, to hold something different in her womb, in her body, to hold something different and still be able to produce life and still be alive to tell about it and have more kids and blah, blah, blah. Let's keep going.
Sure, a lot of hybrid animals are the products of lab creations and the want for newer zoo attractions. But then there are those that are made out of necessity. And that's exactly what the zoo is. It's what you get when you mix a yak with a domestic cow, and it's easily one of the most useful hybrids around. The zoo has become all the rage amongst farmers in the hills of Mongolia and Tibet, as they make not only excellent beasts of burden, but they've also become a bit of a delicacy, offering the best of both worlds when it comes to the meat. But what really makes the zoo so special is its sheer size, because neither a cattle nor a yak can achieve that size naturally. And fun little fact about the zoo is that females are all fertile and capable of further producing offspring. But when it comes to the males, they're a one-time deal. The male zoo is totally infertile, so you better enjoy those genes while you can. The zoo is a great example of what happy accidents can yield, as well as the brains and creativity of everyday folk, as opposed to men and women in lab coats cooking up Frankenstein monsters for research purposes. Number 7. Spider goats. Okay, you've heard of Spider-Man, but what about spider goats? Spider goats aren't... Welcome to American Freight. And a new addition into the world of living oddities created by science. But instead of swinging from building to building and saving the city once a week, all these goats do is produce milk that contains spider silk. But because these goats have had their DNA spliced with the golden orb spider, the silk from the milk can be extracted and used to make all kinds of amazingly strong materials like parachutes, fishing lines, and even body armor. These spider goats are totally amazing and seriously unusual. But don't expect to find silk milk on the shelves of your local grocery store anytime soon, because they're strictly bred and farmed for science. And if you don't believe me, just reach out to the University of Utah, and they'd be happy to show off these amazing spider goats on one of their many guided tours. And always just remember that with great power comes great responsibility, even for goats. Number 6. Wolfen. Alright, this next entry of wacky hybrids is probably one of the rarest in the world, which is saying a lot, and probably one of the coolest too. The wolfen is what you get when you cross a female bottlenose dolphin and a male false killer whale, which is actually a member of the dolphin family and not an actual killer whale. Just imagine what that would look like. But the wolfen is a super cool hybrid that does in fact exist in the wild, and more people have been seeing them, albeit still far and few between. But of course, this is the type of animal that you'd mostly find in captivity, with the first being produced in Tokyo SeaWorld in 1981, who unfortunately died after just 200 days. The first wolfen in the United States was birthed at the Sea Life Park in Hawaii in 1985, named Keikaimalu, which means from the peaceful ocean, and she was a hit from the moment she was born. And it's not hard to see why, with her darker skin, nice row of 66 razor-sharp pearly whites that she shows off with every wide smile. She was even able to produce offspring, which sadly passed away after just a few days. But her second calf lives a far more successful life, living to be about 9 years old. It's safe to say that the wolfen still needs some genetic fine-tuning to become a mainstay within the animal kingdom. Number 5. Geep. Not to be confused with the four-wheeled Grand Cherokee, the geep is a funny little hybrid animal made when a sheep and a goat successfully procreate. But that pairing doesn't always work out, and many geeps are never carried to term and come out as stillborn. So like some previous list entries, the geep is a rare find. So if you do manage to catch a glimpse of one, consider yourself to be incredibly lucky, because these little guys are cute as hell. The very first case on record of one of these little hybrid babies being born dates back to the year 2000, when a male sheep impregnated a female goat at the Botswana Ministry of Agriculture. The baby geep was born with a coarser outer coat and beautiful woolly inner coat, and it came with the legs of a sheep and the body of a goat. It sounds a bit like a mythological creature, but much to the chagrin of the caretakers, it was totally real. Sadly, though, like many hybrid animals, the geep is infertile, so the idea of an entire flock of geep running around in the meadow is just a pipe dream. But while he couldn't create any offspring, the geep in Botswana would go for anything that moved, chasing after every female sheep that he came across within the facility. You go, geep. Number 4. Green sea slug. Claiming the number 4 spot on this list of hybrid animals is probably the most unusual yet. It's none other than the green sea slug. This slug is a strange little beast, incorporating the genetic material from the algae that it eats into its own DNA. So talk about you are what you eat. It's one of the few animals on Earth with this characteristic, and floats about in the oceans looking like a big green plant. But because the slug feeds on plants, it uses photosynthesis to create its own nutrients as well, which is what gives it its bright green color. Scientists have even called it the emerald green Elysia. So instead of being the product of two different animals, the green sea slug is made up of everything, everywhere, all at once. It's pretty crazy, and it's still baffling scientists around the world. Research is still underway as to how the green sea slug is able to do what it does. And as of yet, this amazing slug is the only successful instance of gene transfer from one type of complex organism into another. You'll typically find these guys hanging out in the shallows of tidal or salt marshes and creeks. So the next time you're hanging around in those areas and see some bright green leaves floating about in the water, there's a chance that it's actually a green sea slug hiding in plain sight. Number 3. Tigon. Very similar to the liger, the tigon has the same parents, only this time the roles are reversed. The tigon is the epic offspring of a male tiger and a female lion or lioness. But it is amazing how, despite having such similar parentage, the tigon looks so different from its gender-swapped counterparts. These hybrid animals are absolutely gorgeous with their light tan stripes and a nice white underbelly, all topped off with a big mane and spotted head. And as you could probably guess by now, there's no way that a tiger and lion are mating in the wild. Tigers are incredibly solitary, with their domains spanning for miles and miles, and lions mainly sticking to their pride. On the off chance that these two animals came across each other in the wild, the odds are it wouldn't end well. So the tigon is only ever going to be found in captivity. And there's no way these hybrids could ever be released into the wild, because they would sadly never be accepted by either species. But such is the life of a hybrid animal, I suppose. The tigon's history dates all the way back to 1943, when one was successfully birthed at the Munich Hellebrunn Zoo and even raised to adulthood. And while there have been just a handful of exceptions, the majority of the tigons you'll come across at your local zoo are sterile, meaning each one is both the first and last of their family. Number 2. A leopard. Ligers and tigons and roller bears, oh my! And if you thought those were freaky hybrids, then just wait until you see this one. When a male leopard successfully mates with a female lion, you get the leopard. These hybrids are animals that are rare, with only a handful ever to exist, all of whom were bred in captivity. The leopard has both a unique and beautiful appearance, and looks like something Hercules came across during his 12 labors. The leopard has the head of a lion, a beautiful mane, deadly jaws and all, but with the spotted body of the leopard. If this thing ever got out into the wild, there's no doubt that it would be the apex predator and absolutely dominate the jungles and savannas of the world as it blends into its surroundings, stalking its prey. But luckily for us, that's never going to happen. The world's very first leopard was bred in India at the turn of the 20th century, and now more than 100 years later, it's believed that there are only about 100 in existence today. The minute one of these leopards are born, they enter the endangered species list. It's one strange yet beautiful existence. Number 1. Killer bees. We'll bet you didn't know that killer bees are actually hybrid animals. That's right, these horrifying little fuzzy, buzzing creatures are actually the product of human interference. Created back in the 1950s, scientists were putting their heads together with the goal of increasing the world's honey production. So they bred 2 different species of bee. They took the typical honeybee and mixed them up with the African bee in a lab in Brazil. The result was a big bee with a nasty attitude that was supposed to live out its days in a controlled environment. Too bad for the scientists, though, and the rest of the world, that these new hybrid bees broke loose. And unlike so many hybrid animals, the killer bee is very, very capable of producing not just honey, but offspring. Their defining characteristic is their strong will to defend the colony at all costs. And unless you're deathly allergic, the sting of one killer bee won't be too much. But the thing is, you never just see one killer bee on its own. These deadly little insects love to hang out in swarms, and if you ever come across one, there's no way you can outrun them on just 2 legs. This is one hybrid animal that you want to steer clear of at all costs. Watch our animals playlist for more top videos about animals.
See, this is like I said again, just to show you how, like, let's check this one out. Like they said, animals that scientists have made in a lab. You know, let's check this shit out, because what I want to show you is just, only thing I'm doing is just showing you the possibilities. I'm showing you that, you know, people, like, we have the ability to create shit. That was our gift by Mother Nature. It was a gift by Mother Nature that we have the ability to create new things. You know, I know that we want things to say the same, and I have to debunk some of the things I say sometimes, because I say, you know, and I'm gonna watch this video right here, but I'm gonna pause it real quick. But you know, Mother Nature, you know, we tend to be sustained. We tend to be sustained, and we tend to just only think that, even in different races, we say, well, we supposed to only mate with our own race. We're supposed to mate with like the indigenous people. We're supposed to mate with the indigenous people. The Mexicans supposed to mate with the Mexicans. The Japanese supposed to mate with the Japanese. You know, we don't think outside the box, and and I should have put that too, and I definitely need to put that. So, because race mixing, I've had been against it, but some kind of telling me that we have the ability to create different species of all kinds, not just animals, but us too. According to our perspective and teaching and spiritual and the conscious community, we say, well, we supposed to make with our own kind. Black folks with black folks, white folks with white folks, Mexican folks with Mexican folks. But I got a friend of mine. She's half black and half Hispanic. And she's just as spiritual as I am. And I came from 2 indigenous people. Not to mention the fact you got some people that have maybe a white dad, maybe a white mom, maybe a black dad, a black mom, Hispanic mom, Chinese mom. And the energy you can create the energy, like when you get the like when you start teaching them right from wrong. So I'm talking about racism now. When you start teaching them from right from wrong and teaching them and raising them right, you hear me? Right, raising them the right way. A white person could treat you good if raised properly. A black person could treat you good if raised properly. A Mexican person can teach you good if treat you good if raised properly. So point is that we're so busy trying to look at melanation this, the white person that, woo woo woo. Mother Nature is already letting you know you can't create this shit. Now we call them hybrids. This is what we call it. Anything that's different, we call them hybrids. If it's different, it's a hybrid. Maybe it's something new, bruh, that you have the ability to create because you actually can create this shit. Now, naturally, when you think about nature, naturally, animals have their own base of what they're supposed to be. But who's to say you can't mix some shit up? I've been, we watch or read mythology books, and we watch mythology where they have like a damn human being with a horse body, shit like that. I'm telling you, man, some of this shit is fucking real. These motherfuckers don't want us to do it. That's why they make it illegal for us to do it. Like I say, you can breed your dog, breed your cat, breed your little fishy and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you can't. You better not breed. You better not breed this. You better not breed no damn bird with a tiger. You better not breed that. That's a hell of a one. That's another one. If y'all have any ideas, put them in the comments. Now let's say bird and tiger. We're gonna say bird and tiger, but then we're gonna say bird and liger. We're gonna say bird and liger because the liger came from the liger. Matter of fact, I already put that. I guess I could delete that. Let me see, because I already put that. Show you how smart I am. So point is that, Mother Nature gives you a base of what you can create. You are the upkeepers of this planet. We all are. And you have the ability to create new things. Instead of just trying to create, play it safe, and just only create some shit that ain't harmless. That ain't harmful to nobody. You have abilities, bro. Let me check this out, though.
Similar individuals that can exchange DNA or interbreed. Hybrid animals, on the other hand, are generally the result of mating between two comparable creatures, such as lions and tigers. Lab hybrid animals also exist. Somatic hybridization is the process by which scientists combine genes from both parents to create new species with useful characteristics. Because the offspring of two distinct species are usually infertile, they are not able to reproduce naturally. Nevertheless, there are some exceptions. In this video, we are going to show you some animal hybrids you will not believe ever existed in this world. But before we do that, please first subscribe to Unimaginable if you have not already, and also do press the bell icon if you love watching unimaginable things in this world. You have probably heard about the most frequent animal hybrid between a female horse and a male donkey, known as a mule. But did you realize there are other hybrids out there? Despite the fact that this sort of species crossing does not usually take place in nature, we now have zonkies, ligers, and zebroid thanks to human intervention. These creatures are generally infertile, with certain exceptions such as the coy wolf, which is formed by combining a coyote and wolf. Though the internet is full of photoshopped images of strange creatures, this video is full of absolutely real and amazing animals. So without any further delay, here are the top 12 animal hybrids you will not believe ever existed in this world. Number 12. Geep. The geep, a charming cross between a goat and a sheep, is one of the cutest and softest hybrid animals. Despite their admirable looks, the geep is quite uncommon. Some specialists
we're too set in stone, you know.
Hybrid, or simply a sheep with genetic problems. Because goats and sheep have different numbers of chromosomes, cross-species conception is virtually impossible. If it occurs, only a few newborns are carried to term, and even fewer survive birth. Because of the resemblance of the animals, it is thought that sheep-goat crossings have been taking place for a long time. Because certain primordial sheep breeds may be mistaken for goats, there exists the belief that they are goat hybrids. Number 11. Zebroid. A zebroid is a hybrid of a zebra and any equine species. Technically speaking, a zorse is created when zebra and horse are mated together. Zebra hybrids are usually infertile, and mating opportunities are few. For example, we use the term hinny to describe the progeny of a male donkey and a female zebra, despite the fact that they are quite rare. The majority of zebra hybrids have the appearance of the species they have been crossed with the exception of pure zebra hybrids who retain their striped coat. The stripes are generally limited to the legs or non-white parts of the body depending on the genetics of non-zebra parent. Zebroids are striped like a zebra, but they resemble their non-zebra parent in terms of appearance. The stripes generally do not cover the entire body and may be restricted to the legs, or they might cover parts of the body or neck. If the non-zebra parent was patterned such as a roan, Appaloosa, Pinto, Piebald, or Skewbald horse, this pattern may be transmitted to the zebroid via genetics. Number 10. Tigon. A tigon is commonly confused with a liger. After all, both are mixes of lions and tigers. When a male tiger mates with a female lion, though, the offspring is a tigon. Tigons are considerably smaller than ligers and tend to be smaller than both of their parents. They have characteristics from their lion moms, such as the ability to roar and a passion for socialization, but they resemble more towards their tiger fathers. The mane of a male tigon is shorter and less apparent than the mane of a lion, and resembles the ruff of a male tiger. It is an understandable misconception that tigons are smaller than lions or tigers. They do not have dwarfism or miniaturization because they inherit growth inhibitory genes from both parents, but they do not grow as large as ligers. Many weighs about 180 kilograms compared to ligers weighing between 320 and 550 kilograms. It differs from the liger, which is the offspring of a male lion and female tiger. Number 9. Wholphin. The wholphins is one of the rarest...
So they took a dolphin and made it a dolphin with a whale. Now let's try this. A whale and a shark. I mean, we have to think of this. I'm gonna tell you something. We're too normal, man. We got to get out of that shit, man. We have got to get out of that normal shit. We're not normal in the first place. I mean, we supposed to be the upkeepers of this planet. How are we gonna be the upkeepers of this planet when we have been, colonized, and we don't think outside the box? Even in race, when we think of race, we say that a black person only supposed to date a black man and only supposed to date a black woman. A black woman only supposed to date a black man. White woman aren't supposed to date a white woman. Only. See, that's our problem. We only this shit. Only everything. Everything's only. And I'm going to be a buck about it. I was one of the people that was saying this shit too. But how can we create an even more evolutionary possibility if we don't, these thoughts that's in your mind can manifest. If it's a thought, it can be created. And I'm gonna go as far as even to say that it's not no damn hybrid. It's just you can create something new. You could take two different species and create something different. And that thing that you create could be absolutely motherfucking amazing if you allow it to be. Instead of looking at it like some damn curse. That's like me, for example. I'm losing weight. I've been losing so much weight. But I'm a stocky, indigenous man. What if I mate with a Chinese woman? What would I make? Let's think about this. Let me take you here. Let me try to broaden your horizons. I'm even putting me in it. I'm putting me in it. Henry, I'm going to keep it simple with this one. Okay, that's what I'm used to. What if we do this? Damn. Okay. I mean, let's think about I just want you to think outside the damn box. I want you to think outside the box, man. And stop looking at color and stop looking at because we're all just one people, we're different. And stop just looking at the fact that, oh, well, you're the black, you're the white, you're the indigenous, you're the African, you're the woo woo. And you have, I could go further with this, but I don't think I have to. I think you understand. I think you understand what I'm kind of getting at. I think you get it. So, what's wrong with any of those possibilities? As long as it is loved and it shows love and it cares and it shows care and and the thing is, this is the beauty of it. What if I do this? What if I do this? What if I just run into something like this though? It happens. I'm just saying, like, what, now you splice it up in three now. You got somebody that's half black, half white, mixing with an all black man. What if you got somebody that does all three? What if you got a Japanese man and a I mean, come on, now you got three different DNAs. Now you see me, I'm indigenous, I'm a black man, mixing with somebody that's black and white. But what if you got a person that's a totally different species, right? Japanese. And they mix with somebody that's black and white. They have three different DNAs and three different splices. But when they're raised in love and care and all the good stuff. What's wrong with it? Who's to say this shit ain't natural? Who's to say that it's not natural to create new shit and new species? And all of the names that you think of of all these animals mankind is the one that named a damn lion a lion, and a tiger, a bear, a bear. So who's to say that if you take the names away, that you would be able to have endless possibilities without the name of trying to put somebody somewhere or put an animal somewhere, we're putting shit in another place instead of allowing it to be and take form. We have the ability to not only allow things to create themselves, but we also have the ability to create also. So this is the thing that I'm trying to tell you, where it's not just about like letting them naturally create in natural order and blah, blah, blah. And that's why I say I have to go back sometimes, because I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly, looking at new things and new possibilities, because I'm looking at infinite. What if what if right now, let's say for example, what if there's a possibility to mix two different human beings that can create immortality? What if, say for example, us indigenous people, we talk about us all the time, so let's do it. What if you take, now I did something where I got the indigenous, look, I said the Japanese man with a half black, half white woman. Then I also said me with a half black, half white woman. But what if I say, because you know how you can go to them sperm banks. You can go to them sperm banks and you have the ability to, shoot your sperm, whatever, boo, 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 and they can make some. What if they might have already done this shit for all I know? And this shit is scary, bro. It's just scary. What if they take? What if they take every man, every race? Since we are raced up, you know, just what we always think about race and the indigenous and the white and the blah 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 and the Mexican blah blah blah. We do all this shit. What if we just get the sperm from all races of people, mix it up, put in a goddamn capsule? All races of people, every race is just a big old jar of uh, uh, every single race sperm count, which is spirits, if you will. And you mix it up together. Do what you got to do with it. Woo, woo, woo. And you inject that in every single woman. The white woman, the black woman, the Chinese woman, the African woman, the Mexican woman, the Puerto Rican woman, the Australian woman, the British woman. An all race of people DNA. An all race of people possibility. Mixed up. And I'm saying, and like I say, you know, I know this video right here is going to spark up some conversations, and that's cool because I love this shit because I want us to think different. I want us to think outside the box. That's what we do. We're spiritual thinkers. We always try to think outside the box, but I just want you to understand something like, this is shit that they trying to keep you away from. They want you to be divided and only just create a certain style of Negro, indigenous, create a whole different style of Caucasian, whole different, just the same shit. They want you to create just the same common shit. The common Negro, the common white man, the common African, the common Mexican, the common Japanese. They want you to create the common shit. But do you realize you can create a whole new fucking race? You can make a whole new race. You're so busy worrying about the white man and what done happened with the Sky Daddy. White man, old white man this, white man that. We're indigenous this, indigenous that. You have the ability to create your own goddamn race. This is something that we need to think outside the box on, bro. I know we want to keep shit set in stone, but shit, the way this world is, shit might need to get different. I'm just being real with you. We can call them hybrids. We can say to everybody from some motherfuckers from the Caucasus Mountain. We can talk all this shit all day. I was in the freezer at my job yesterday because I was tagging some labels on these boxes. You know, a new product to come in. And even though I could take the cold, because I'm one of them motherfuckers that I can take the cold. But I was in this freezer that was blowing so fucking hard that it was cold than a motherfucker in there. But you telling me it's somebody out here that y'all claim is from a mountain, they can stand the cold weather. So if they mix with you, then part of your DNA can stand the cold weather. So you be part Carcass Mountain / indigenous. Woo-hoo, possibility, bro. The possibilities can be endless if you think outside of the box. You're trying to resonate with just one race when you can create a whole new one, a whole new species of human. We sit up and claim it's not, it's natural. Maybe it's not supposed to be. Maybe the creator gave you a base to go on. You know how you always get that starting shit. You get something like, okay, let me dumb it down a bit for you. You know how, you know, you know how you can gotta get my thoughts together. You know how you can just something to think about, bro. You know how you can I've been, me sometimes me and my homegirl we'll be talking on the phone with such spiritual energy and such spirituality. Sometimes we'll just lose our train of thought. I mean, we have to start like, we got people that say we shouldn't do this and we shouldn't do that. Now, one thing I will tell you, the possibility of life is through heterosexuality. Heterosexuality is the only thing that makes this shit possible. I'm not judging anybody. I'm not throwing no slugs or shade. Only thing I'm saying is that the possibility of these situations and these experiments is you have to have the male and the female present. That's all I'm saying. But the possibilities that you can create, like, and it's like you take like a damn you can take like a damn bumblebee. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's just something to think about. Take a mosquito and a bumblebee. Let's just see. Sometimes you gotta just think this shit through. You gotta think it out, bro. What can you create? Yeah, in frequency, the bees are only gonna make with the bees. The sharks are gonna mate with the sharks. Eagles gonna mate with the eagles. Yeah. But maybe this world was supposed to have natural things that not, because everything can't, like, everything that's unnatural can't. We still have to have some order here. We still have to have some type of order, but there are some things that we should never do. But there are some things that you can create, and you can create a peaceful solitude situation by creating these things. You know, when you look at the animal kingdom, and I'm going to tell you something, these scientists, see, while we sitting up breeding dogs, breeding cats, breeding fish, see, what we don't understand, while we're creating things just commonly, and the only reason that we can create these things is because these are the things that they allow us to create. Yeah, create a common dog. You know, dog get out of hand, they call animal control, get it done. Create a cat, they'll do the same thing. Create a fish, they'll do the same thing. You know, whatever. I mean, if it gets out of hand, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna let you create something that can literally cause them problems. See, I want you to understand evolution and dabbling into evolutionary acts. You know, we go at natural order. We always talk about natural order, and we say that the indigenous man is only supposed to be with the indigenous woman, and the white woman only supposed to be with the white man, and the Japanese woman only supposed to be with the Japanese man. And I'm going to tell you something. That's sustainment. That is too set in stone, because it's like all you got to do is create we're energy. That's all we are. We're energy and meat suits. We're energy and meat suits. But when you start creating new shit, do you realize that Arako Kuncha Tompayata also? Do you know we could create a whole motherfucking human race? You walking around just be, oh, I'm white. Oh, I'm indigenous. I'm Chinese. Oh, I'm Vietnamese. Oh, I'm African. Oh, I'm this. We could create our own race just by thinking outside the motherfucking box. And as long as we keeping ourselves set in stone, we gonna be stagnant just like stone. While we sitting up just, oh, let me create my dog. I want to create this, take this dog here, and I'm gonna make this dog here, and we're gonna make this dog. Oh, I like her. Cool dog. Name her Lucky, some shit like that. Oh, that's my fish. I'm gonna name him Spot. You know, okay. They make peaceful shit. Man, but you can make some shit that can do some damage out here. You know what I'm saying? That's like that, like at the beginning of the video when I showed you that liger that was created from, you had, it was a female. See, they used different. It was different. They didn't go. They made the possibility where you could make a male lion and a female tiger, and that made it smaller. But when they took the female and made the female the female lion, and the male tiger, that damn tiger about fucking 11 foot tall, 1,200 motherfucking pounds. See, Uncle Sam don't want to deal with a big motherfucker like that. You know what I'm saying? So that keep you making Garfield. You can go and make Felix the cat, long as he ain't hurt nobody. We'll get pest control to come out here, put a lasso around his neck, and take him to the pound. We ain't worried about that. Man, you could take other hybrid creations, and you can actually take hybrid creations and mix them with things to make them even bigger. You can make fucking giants. Look, you can take a fucking lion and mix that motherfucker with an elephant. And the mysterious thing about this, and I want us the goddesses, I want the goddesses to understand this, is the fact that you can hold different species in your womb. You ain't just gotta hold an indigenous, like if you're an indigenous woman, you ain't gotta just hold an indigenous baby in your womb. Oh yeah. You can hold up Japanese, one's mixed with Japanese. You can hold one mixed with Caucasian. You can hold one that. Now we get to the point where we always want to talk about this Caucasus Mountain shit. But I'm gonna tell you something. Maybe ain't nothing wrong with mixing with a white woman. You say, Henry, what the fuck? You say nothing wrong with mixing with a white woman? What the fuck? You know why I say that? Well, if they motherfuckers can stand the cold, you claim that they came from caves. Why can't you give your kid that trait to where they can go inside of a cold ass motherfucking cave and still live the 7,000 motherfucking years in a goddamn cave? They living in a cave, according to the literature, because a lot of this shit we don't know is true. But according to the literature, we was ancient civilization. They was living in caves. So if you can only stand the hot sun and them motherfuckers getting sunburn, well, if you mix your DNA with theirs, then they don't have to have sunburn anymore, and you don't have to worry about freezing in a motherfucking cave. So instead of separating, why don't we try coming together and start making some amazing shit happen? Because it looked like we too divided by race. We too divided by color and creed, because I'm looking at this shit from a whole different perspective, because there is endless possibility when we actually start thinking outside of the motherfucking box and stop acting like, the indigenous, we better than y'all. Oh, white folk, oh, we better than y'all. Oh, Mexicans, oh, we better than you. You know, y'all think you're better, we better. You know, we better. Africans, oh, we the better people. Man, why don't we? We talk about coming together. Let's come together all the goddamn way, because some of this shit seems like they already doing it. They already doing what I'm talking about right now. That's why I can show you videos. This is the second one. I haven't even started this motherfucker yet, but the first one I did on her, they already showing you that they are creating different breeds and species. And we have the ability to breed humanity. We walking around all separated. Oh, man, well, I'm indigenous. I'm going to go be with the indigenous one. Well, you going to have an indigenous situation. Oh, well, man, I'm white man, or shoot, I'm gonna make my white woman. I'm gonna be with Sarah and Lily and Marley and shit. So while we doing that, they're taking Shakaka and mating her with Lakushima. I'm just being real. While you sitting up, oh man, we need to only be with our own people and our own kind. Them motherfuckers in them laboratories, and some of them don't even have to be in laboratory. They can just give them some money. Hey man, if you make with her and she make with y'all, y'all about $1 million. It ain't shit. We can print it anyway. We can print money anyway. And I'm gonna tell you something again. I want you to understand something. Now, it's just something in my mind. Nobody in this motherfucking planet even has to be poor. The only reason that it's poor people in the world because they have if a government has the ability to print motherfucking money, I'm talking about print it like paper. They don't print that much because they want to have the classes. You got to have the classes of wealth. You have the classes of rich, wealthy, and poor. That's how you're gonna keep the agenda going. But let me get to this topic because I want to stay on that. This is the more important one to me. We don't want to think outside the box and do nothing different, bro. We want to just keep it all common. Mother Nature, in her love, gave you a base of the animal kingdom. But Mother Nature also gave you the will to create new shit. Take a whale and a shark, and you take a male shark and a female whale, and you might make the largest motherfucking shark that ever lived. And you could take that damn shark. You know how they do, they talk about Jurassic Park. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about Jurassic Park, they talk about all these prehistoric animals. Prehistoric. Listen to this shit. Prehistoric. So is this shit prehistory? Prehistory. Prehistoric. Historic, histories, whatever you want to talk about. Prehistoric. This is this is a thing. Man, you probably, if we stop trying to act like that we ain't a unit in this motherfucker, and the blacks over here and the whites over here and the Hispanics over here and the Chinese over here and all the different races and people are over here, we don't have possibility. Man, you could probably create an infinite being. What if you have the ability to take all the races of men and take their sperm and put their sperm in a fucking capsule, mix it up, whatever you got to do to it, and inject it in all race of people, women. So don't just inject it in a black woman. And I'm telling you, you think these motherfuckers hadn't done that. Have any of y'all heard of the secrets of the Antarctic, where they have a fucking laboratory that, you know, is over there in Antarctica that is forbidden for you to go to? While we over here living normal, common lives, they over here creating shit. And there's areas that's on planet Earth that have not even been discovered yet. There's places in planet Earth that have not even been discovered. There was another place where they found a new species. But you have the ability to create new species. Not only in the animal kingdom, but in humanity also. But we so busy trying to just, I'm hanging on my side. I want to be with the Negroes over here, the indigenous over here. Oh, I want to be with the white folks over here. I'm white and I want to be with the white folks over here. Oh, I'm Mexican. Oh, I want to be with the Mexicans over here. Oh, I'm Australia. I want to be with the Australians over here. As long as we keep doing that, we ain't going to get nothing but one possibility. Now, if evolution, the creator, Mother Nature is an endless possibility all in herself. Mother Nature is endless possibility herself. For crying out loud. Planet. A planet, bro. Mother Nature. The earth, the trees, the wind, the moon, the sun. Mother Nature. Then you add the animals, the life force on this planet. I wonder. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask because I don't know it all, and I ain't perfect, and I don't mean to offend nobody. And I hope if I do, I apologize in advance. What's wrong with possibility, bro? Infinite possibility. Infinite. Infinite possibility, bro. Infinite. Like, it's not like that you're limiting something to one form. The possibility of this shit is endless, and you're thinking outside the box. What if it's possible? What if it's possible? Like, I'm being real. Let's do it again. And if y'all think of possibilities that you think would be interesting and weird, type it in the comments. I don't want to do this alone. What if you take this is funny. This is funny. A gorilla and a shark. Come on now. Come on now. Give me a little sympathy here. And I don't see how that's possible. But who knows what these motherfuckers know? They probably know exactly how to get that gorilla sperm in that damn in that damn shark. But part is that like, look, think about this. Take an alligator. What if you take an alligator and made and alligator and a whale? Let's do it. It's just you know, one of my friends was telling me when I was talking to her that I should do a part 2 to this video. But I think y'all kind of get the point. I don't think I have to. I was pondering, should I do a part 1 or part 2, but I think y'all kind of get the point. And all the possibilities that I put out, and whatever possibilities y'all decide to put out also, who knows? Who knows what they're doing? While we sitting up talking about it, who knows what they're doing?
Animals. They come from crossbreeding of a male false killer whale, which is a species in the dolphin family that is not related to killer whales, with a female bottlenose dolphin. Citizen dolphin sightings in the wild are frequent, but hard evidence still eludes scientists. We can now only reliably see them in captivity. The combination of their parents is very intriguing. Their skin is a dark gray, the ideal mix of light gray dolphin skin and black false killer whale skin. They also have 66... Hurry up and try to lick teeth, which is the average for dolphins with 88 teeth and false killer whales with 44 teeth. The first known dolphin was bred in a Tokyo SeaWorld in 1981. He died after 200 days, the first dolphin to live in the United States, and the first to do so was Kikamalu, who was born at Sea Life Park in Hawaii on May 15, 1985. Her name translates as from the peaceful ocean. When Kikamalu produced a young calf, she proved capable of breeding. The youngster died shortly after birth. Number 8. Liger. The liger is a cross between a male lion and a female tiger that produces the most well-known hybrid animal of all time. Ligers are generally much larger than either parent. The biggest non-obese liger in the world that weighs 1,000 pounds, while the heaviest ever recorded weighed 1,600 pounds.
Now you hear that shit? Uncle Sam scared the motherfucker. See, we all the robots and the clones. I one of the main person. Robot clone. Man, well, we gotta watch this. Oh, the bitch. Oh, what is it? Man. You can create something that'll lay on a motherfucking robot and crush it.
Lions and tigers do not typically live in the same places. Finding ligers in the wild would be nearly tough. They resemble lion cubs more than tigers, but they have tiger features such as an affinity for swimming and striped backs. The liger has a faint tiger-like striped pattern on a lion-esque tawny background. In addition, it may also inherit rosettes from the lion parent. Lion cubs are rosetted, and some adults retain faint markings. The black and dark brown stains, as well as the sandy ones, are common. The color of the background may be tawny, sandy, or golden, depending on the subspecies. The underparts are pale in comparison to the upper side of the the animal in this case, which is known as countershading. The particular design and hue depend on which subspecies your parents were and how their DNA combines in your offspring. Number 7. Green sea slug. The green sea slug is one of the most unusual hybrids on this list. It is a sea slug that incorporates genetic material from the algae it consumes into its own DNA as a result of natural crossbreeding. As a plant-animal hybrid that eats like an animal and creates its own nourishment by photosynthesis, it is quite unique. The green sea slug can be found in the following states: Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Rhode Island, Florida, and Texas. They may also be seen as far north as Nova Scotia, Canada. These sea slugs are known by the scientific name of emerald green Elysia. Their green color is due to their capacity to transform solar radiation into food. Scientists say that they will need to conduct further study in order to figure it out. However, until now, this has been the only effective method of gene transfer from solar radiation into food. Scientists say that they...
I want to put it on them for a second. And then I'm going to call it a day. Maybe. They ain't creating shit, bro. While we sitting up being normal citizens and just living common lives, they're making things. They're making possibility, bro. It's scary as fuck because they probably making everything that I mentioned. All the stuff that the comments I'd have made, they probably making all that shit. It's illegal for us to do so, but they're probably making all kinds of shit. I'm gonna give you another one. I'm gonna give you another one. Let's try dead man. Now you know, for example, when people are dead, they have, splices of shit in their body. Like for example, a dead man, maybe he had sex before he died, the day before he died, or a couple of days before he died. And it might be some sperm residue or pre-cum or whatever in his penis. Or let's say, for example, this man died. Maybe he died with this shit. He might have had sperm already in his balls, Well, he died. And you could take a dead man's sperm and put it I'm trying to figure this out because it's some shit like, say I die. Somebody could probably take my sperm and put it inside of a woman and maybe ta-da, who knows? I'm just playing, but hey man, I'm serious about this shit, man. A dead man and I don't even know what to put because I'm thinking, what do y'all think? What do y'all think, man? Sometimes you just gotta think outside the box, man. What's wrong with thinking outside the box? Do you know that the government is doing all this shit? I mean, everything that I'm showing you, The government is doing all of this shit, bro.